I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News with Thorsten Nesch, an Alberta writer, and we're here to talk a little bit more about some of your upcoming projects and some of the stuff you're working on. But before we get into that, you're more than just a writer. Can you explain to our viewers a little bit more about yourself?
Writing is one way of expressing myself. I consider myself a storyteller, and I use film, photography, music, as well as the different forms of writing for poetry, short fiction, novels, and I'll do that bilingually in German and English.
Right now, you're currently working on a project called Lethbridge 2112. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what that project is?
Yes, actually, I got some very fantastic news just now. I got the Alberta Foundation for the Arts awarded me a grant to now write the novel properly. I hammered out a couple of chapters on my homepage, and it takes place in the future in Lethbridge 2112. And I don't want to say too much about it. Of course, it is like a social science fiction dystopian novel. It's going to be, and well, Lethbridge has a population of 17 million then.
Okay. And so right now you got the grant and you're able to write it the way you would want to and finish it up. But can you just talk a little bit about how you were writing it before and kind of how you were putting out drips and drabs of it?
Yeah. So it was difficult. Like the idea, I collect ideas for about 11 years. So I started already my time in Germany. So right now I have a wall full of paper cuts out that I now hung up, all the details that I collected. And so I put out, like always on my homepage, 500 words, short chapters, to just see how the flavor. I combined them with charcoal drawings, nothing too fancy there. So to just get the atmosphere going, and it did definitely work for me. So, but now I I will update my progress now on the homepage.
So you mentioned earlier that you write in German and you're also starting to write in English. Can you just talk a little bit about what it was like moving from writing in German to now writing in English, which is your second language, I presume, right?
Yes, it is. So for the explanation, my wife is from Calgary, so we're married for 20 years, and English is our home language. We lived in Victoria as well as in Germany before moving to Lethbridge, and there was kind of this 10 years I was full-time author in Germany. So my books are read in schools there between Denmark and Italy, and I did gradually switch more and more writing as well in English. And my first a novel that got published in Ontario by my calling, I wrote together with a Zimbabwean colleague, Blessing Muzariri. So that was kind of one foot into the language, basically, by writing it together, because obviously I have to work now with this novel a little harder on my vocabulary and the grammar.
And also you have a book that's out called I Am You, Am I. Can you just tell us a little bit about what that book's about?
Yeah, so that is a teenage comedy, a young adult fiction comedy. Definitely, it's about a body switch between a poor 15-year-old boy, a hobby boxer from a difficult background, and a rich girl that likes horseback riding. I don't know, from the flavor, maybe imagine the TV show Heartland gets rear-ended by Shameless. Then you have
Okay. And when I was looking through a lot of your work, it seemed like you had a lot of variety in your writing. How do you get inspired to write different novels and different stories?
Yeah, that way I'm the nightmare of publishing houses because they like a series and stuff. But for me, it's really like the best idea that grabs me. And it can take like this, I think, from idea to writing the novel, the shortest time, it took me 2 years. Usually it is between 8 and 15 years from the first idea. So the idea grows in itself. Sometimes it merges with other ideas. It's even if I want to write a second, I'm looking now at my wall here, by the way, that's full of paper. Even if I'm wanting to write a second part, I'm not against it, but if it's not the best idea, I'm just not doing it.
And where can our viewers find more information about you and see some of your work?
I think a good starting place is my homepage, www.thorstennesch.com, THORSTENNESCH. I try to keep it pretty clean. So there are the novels, that where the music is, you know, and Lethbridge 2112. You can follow there as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking some time to talk with us today. It was great to meet you today.